You join me here at Westoe Road Baptist Church in South Shields, which is in the northeast of England, and I'm joined this morning by Pino, who's the church secretary. The church at Westoe Road went through a difficult period last year. Because of financial constraints, they had to give notice to their full-time pastor, which was very painful for both the church and the pastor. The church then thought through what they could do in the form of ministry, looked at different options like part-time ministry or even a student, but came to the conclusion, both as a leadership and as the whole church, that they would love to have an American Interim Pastor. So Angela, perhaps you could first of all tell our American friends the process that you went through in appointing an American Interim.
As a church, we met quite regularly, both the deacons and the whole church. We prayed about it and we discussed what the priorities of the church would be. And the priorities of the church were paramount in us deciding to move forward with this process. We contacted Chuck McComb, who worked very closely with us, and he knew about the church, and he then matched us up and sent us some profiles of American Interim Pastors. The deacons met and all agreed on Dennis and Brenda Greer being invited to come as our American Interim Pastors. And then we contacted Chuck, who put the whole process into place for us, and then we started on filling in the forms, and they sorted out getting visas, and we had to work to get certificate of sponsorships for them. And Chuck was very supportive, both with us and with Dennis and Brenda throughout this whole process.
So after the shortlisting, you chose Dennis and Brenda Greer. Perhaps you could explain to us why you chose them.
We read their profile and then we viewed an interview that they'd carried out, and we just felt that they would be right for our church. The priorities of the church were very much around pastoral care and leading Bible study, as well as preaching on Sundays, and the profiles Dennis and Brenda had very much met with that.
Angela, I know that the Greers return in January, and there will be lots of tears when they do return to their homeland. But how long have they been with you? And what are the key outcomes that you see as a result of their ministry? They
came to us in June and they leave us in January. So they'll have been with us for about 7 months. Prior to them coming, we had lots of conversations via Facebook and email and Skype. And during those conversations, we talked about things, you know, like church services and style of worship, sort of music we use. And they also asked very practical questions about where they were going to live and what sort of car they might get, as well as things like, you know, would we be able to show them where the local supermarkets are. And that came about very easily because we felt we got to know them very well. We talked about what we were expecting them to do when they came, and they also talked a little about what they were expecting of us. And that meant when they did arrive, we were ready to work alongside each other. And through everything Dennis and Brenda have done, from preaching on Sundays to leading Bible study groups, they've been very conscious that they're working with us. They have led us in some very good Bible studies, which have increased in number, and the content has been really good. Brenda has led us on the deacons through a servant leadership study, and she's now working with a group of us to equip us to be able to lead Bible study after they've gone.
So following the Greers, what will the church do then about ministry?
We were hoping that Dennis and Brenda might be able to stay with us, but that wasn't possible. So we took the decision as a church, along with Dennis and Brenda being involved, to invite Ron and Carolee Johnson from California to come to minister with us, and they will join us in January, just before Dennis and Brenda leave. So there will be just a few days for us all to be working together.
Angela, many of the people watching this may be considering becoming an interim pastor, or may be part of a church who would like to support the ministry. It would be really good if you could give some idea of what the blessings are of this ministry to a Baptist church in the UK.
The value to a Baptist church is really difficult to put into words. We feel truly privileged and blessed that Dennis and Brenda first of all took the decision to become American Interim Pastors and actually leave, you know, their home and their family and their friends and come to be with us for as long as this. The value to the church is they've really enthused us, they've shared their love with us, they've shared their love of the Bible with us, and have enthused and equipped us to then move on.
Well, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning, Angela.